Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money selling cover calls. Not just by doing it weekly or monthly and making some, decent premium. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money from selling cover calls the right way, okay? So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start out by showing you the SPY. Okay, SPY is an ETF of the S&P 500. You probably know what it is. If you don't, you can look it up. The SPY is upward drift, right? It always goes up, okay, since its inception. Sure, it has its moments of crashing and going down, but over time it always goes up. So you really want to take advantage of that upward drift. Well, how do you do it? Well, you buy the SPY in some manner, right? You buy into it, and as it goes up, you make money. Well, a lot of people think they're going to sell cover calls against it and make more money. And really what they're doing, and this has been proven in studies, if you want to go do your own back testing, you can. You don't have to take my word for it. Of course, don't take my word for it. Do your own back testing. That's even better. That's how you learn. But anyways, if you buy the SPY and sell a cover call, what you're going to find out is that you're constantly getting called out. You're constantly having to rebuy it and sell another cover call. And people say, well, gee, every time I do it, though, I keep the call premium, which is great. You do. Okay, but that's not the best way to make money from selling cover calls. That's probably the worst way to make money from selling cover calls, is just say, I'm going to buy it blindly at any moment and sell a cover call. And then when I get called out, I just do it again. That's not very strategic, okay? I have a strategic framework that I follow for everything I do in the market. And this is just one technique I use. And if you want that framework, it's below. You can get it. It's the top link in the description. It's free. So go ahead and download it if you want to use it. I hope it helps you. It's a guide to framework when to do certain trades, right? Well, you want to do cover calls, and some people say, I just want to sell cover calls. If that's really what you want to do, I encourage you to learn other techniques. But if you really want to master cover calls, then you got to know how to do it with context and when and where to do them. And buying it right here and selling a call right here is a bad play, in my opinion. Buying it right here and selling a cover call up here is still a bad play. And I don't care how savvy you get, if you understand delta and everything else, and now you're doing it out here and you're maximizing your upward movement and your profitable premium coming in, and you think you're going to beat the market, I'm here to tell you, you're just not. Okay, at the end of the year, you're going to tally everything up. You say, gee, I could have just bought the SPY and done nothing. I'd been better off. Plus, you would have saved a bunch of money on taxes, because cover calls income is taxed at the highest rate in the United States. That's the worst type of tax treatment you want, okay? Where capital gains is taxed much better. Long-term capital gains, that is even better, okay? Now, some people say, gee, I'll sell into money cover calls. So you bring this down here and you sell into money cover calls. Still a bad strategy. You're not taking advantage of the upward drift. So why would you do it? You want to beat the market. You don't want to be very, very average or even worse than average. You want to beat the market by a lot. Well, how do you do that? Here, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to start with a list of stocks that you have researched, and you have found some cover call candidates that you are willing to own if you get stuck owning them. And you're willing to make plays on them because you have determined that they are high quality stocks, and you put a list of them in your portfolio. Now, this is a quick list I just pulled out of the S&P 500, right? If you want to learn how to pick stocks, I have a video. You can go to the link below, show you how to pick stocks. But what you want to do is take those stocks and put them in your portfolio, and you want to have a lot of stocks to choose from at any given moment. Which one is providing you with a good cover call opportunity, all right? Now, I'm going to go through these real quick and just see if I can find an example for you that would be a good cover call opportunity. And if I can't, then at that moment, I just would not trade any cover calls. Okay, now, I know some people like to do it every week or every month, but I'm telling you, that's just not a good strategy. You're going to end up being very average or less. Okay, you're not going to beat the market by doing a weekly call or a monthly call. I don't care who tells you differently. It cannot be done, okay? Unless you're doing something very, very risky. Now, if you're going to put on a lot of risk, yeah, you might beat the average, but keeping risk in check, which is most important, right? Don't lose money. We always want to make money. Losing it is hard to get back. Piling it on top of each other is easy when you're smart and safe. So that's what we're going to learn here. All right, so let's just scroll through here. See, what's a good cover call stock? Well, gee, here's one right here. The first one I go to. Why? American Express. Okay, why is it a good stock? Because it's in an uptrend, and now it's coming out of a pullback, right? So I'm going to buy it right here or right here, and I'm going to sell a cover call out here. I'm going to get maximum amount of money out of this because it is in a green candle. It's going up on the day, so that's in my favor. Premiums go up when that happens, right? It's coming out of a pullback, so now the next high is most likely going to be up here somewhere. So now a lot of people say, gee, I use Delta. I use a lot of things for selecting my strike price and my DTE. Well, this might be a method you want to adopt right here. Draw a trend line up there. Where do you think the next stop is going to be? Well, it's likely going to go up to this trend line. We don't know when. It could take a week, could take a month. It may never go. It may go down. That's why I said make sure it's a stock you're willing to own. If American Express goes down, are you willing to own it long term? And there's other strategies you can use to make money while it's going down. Again, I trade in a framework. Get my guide below. It's free. It'll help you decide when you're going to do what. But right now, you could buy this, sell a cover call. It's an upward movement coming out of a downward pullback in a long-term uptrend, right? It's kind of like swing trading. I don't know if anybody here watching ever did, if you've ever done swing trading before. I used to swing trade a ton when I was younger, and I did a lot of position trades. And it's kind of like that. But once I learned options is my life now. I love it more than anything else. But you can do it in a swing trading manner, and that is how you're really going to beat the crap out of the market. You're going to make a lot more because you can make this huge gain right here, right? And then you move on to the next one. Gee, now I don't want to buy it again up here and sell another cover call. That's a high risk that it's going to go down. I'm going to get stuck holding it. So what do? You scroll through your list of stocks and let's see what we can find. And if we can't find one, we don't make a trade. Hey, here's a good one. TJX. Now, I'm not sure all these are good stocks for selling cover calls, right? I haven't vetted all of them. I just pulled a quick list out of the S&P 500. Again, watch my video below how to select stocks. You want to make sure there's options available and a lot of other things that need to be present for the stock. But these are just examples. So here you got a stock, again, in an uptrend, right? Let me just draw the uptrend for you. It's an uptrend right here. It's pulling back, right? So what would you do with this one? Gee, you'd buy it right here. As it's going up, green candle gives you a lot of premium, or we'll just say more premium than when it's a red candle, that's for sure. So you'd buy it right here because it's trending up. It hit this, it pulled back. Now I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it right here. I'm going to get the most premium when this is happening. I'm going to sell the cover call maybe up here, maybe up here. So I'm going to get this big gain up plus this bonus premium. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. And let's review that, what I just called that. I call that bonus premium, okay? You're really making the money on the stock game. The premium is bonus. And I'm here to tell you, if you think you're just going to sell premium over and over and over, make a lot of money, you're probably going to be disappointed. You could do it in this manner and just sell it right here and take this money and then move on to the next stock, okay? But what you don't want to do is buy it up here and then sell a cover call when it's ready to come down, and then you get stuck holding it. And I see a lot of people do that. I'm going to show you an example of that right now. Here's kind of a bad one. Not bad enough, though. We want one that's worse. Here's one right here. Okay, why would you buy this and sell a cover call? Some people would, right? Some people would go buy it right here when it was there, or we'll just say right now where it's at. Right now it's right here. Let me draw this line down. They'd buy it right here, sell a cover call right here, and say, gee, what a great trade I made. And then this thing's going to pull back. Most likely, it's going to pull back eventually, right? Let's just see what its trend line is doing. So when would be a good time to sell a cover call here? When it pulls back, right? When it gets down to this line and it bounces and gives a green candle, then I would say, hey, buy the stock right now and sell a cover call. Right? And if you want to buy the stock right now and sell a cover call, even just one strike out of the money, the basic cover call strategy. It's in my video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Cover calls explained for beginners. There's a link below. But it's a basic strategy. You'll make a ton of money. Right? You buy it right here, you get called out, and you make a big gain, you move on to the next stock. But don't ever buy it when it's up here and sell a cover call. And I see lots of people doing that right now. Then they wonder why they can't make any money selling cover calls, because when this thing comes back down, you're not going to be able to get any premium. So you would pass on that one, right? You keep going, find something that's giving you an opportunity. That's not. And whatever's giving you an opportunity, that's what you trade. Okay, here's one getting ready to give you an opportunity. Okay, let's just say it's in an uptrend, and now it's going to do a pullback. Again, you got to qualify these stocks. I'm not saying go out and buy any of these. I have not qualified these. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just using these as an example. But here's one. It's in an uptrend, high, lower, or higher low, and lower high, not so great. But it's good for an example, right? It's probably going to go lower. We're going to skip that one. That's not a good one. Let's find a different one. I hope I'm making sense here. I hope I'm teaching you something. Let's look for a couple more. See if we can find some good examples. Here's a decent one. It's not coming out of an uptrending stock. Long term, it is an uptrend. I like Waste Management for a variety of reasons. Again, I'm not saying go out and buy it. But in this particular moment right here, I probably wouldn't, because it's coming off of a bad earnings. But that would be a situation. See the pullback. That's when you want to buy it. It's right when it reverses from that pullback. Like right here, it pulled back and this green candle presented itself. That's when you want to buy it. And then ride it back up. with the premium and the capital appreciation. That's how you crush the market, right? You don't just make money, you crush the market. Now, if you're going to buy it up here and then sell it and get called out and get that little bit, you're not going to crush the market. You're going to do less than average, all right? I hope I'm making sense. And then, of course, downtrending stocks, Costco, a great company. You don't want to be selling covered calls on a downtrending stock, right? Because what's going to happen? You're going to buy it even right here, and you're going to sell a covered call up here. Is a good chance by the time it expires, you're not going to get called out. You're going to get stuck holding that stock. So you never want to sell covered calls on a downtrending stock or anything that's in a current downtrend. Okay, again, I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm helping you. If you have any questions, put them below. Be sure to download my free guide. I hope that helps you make better decisions in your trading too, and I'll talk to you again soon.